here on Channel 13.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it is National Employee Well-Being Month. Yes, it's about us this month, okay? Job stress can cause nerves, it can keep you up at night, it can be a contributing factor to physical and emotional health problems, including heart disease and depression.
Yeah, Stephanie Glover right now of a Health Plan of Nevada is here. We're talking coping techniques here for stressful work environments. And Stephanie, I'm guessing that alcohol is not on the list of good things, right?
Yeah.
But we all
it's a
often
coping
do
strategy,
it, right?
yes. It's not a very good one, but it does. It happens.
It's interesting. Well, it does seem like so many people, I mean, that I know are stressed at work. They're talking about work. I've got so much to do. I can't, the emails, all that kind of thing. What are some things that we can do to help with that?
Well, you know the usual suspects. You know, diet, exercise. You know, eat better.
But we don't have time for all that.
Right, of course not, because we're not well. You know, because we're all stressed out. So the first things that go are those kinds of basic things. Hydrate well, sleep well. Okay, those are some things that you can do. But you can do some other emotional and cognitive strategies as well. And one of those is to practice gratitude. You know, be grateful for what you've got. I've got a car with air conditioning. How good is that?
Yeah.
I've got a job, you know, to complain about. I think that's great.
Right.
So make a list of 3 things every night that you're grateful for. That'll help you.
Just a reminder that your life is not that bad, that there are accomplishments that you have, that you do have.
Absolutely, not that bad.
And I've heard that a lot of people say do it before bed because then that's in your mind.
It is.
And you sleep better.
Is
that
that
true?
You sleep better, you sleep longer, you get more REM sleep when you go to sleep with that frame of mind. It's an attitude of gratitude. It's really an incredible thing. And just get moving a little bit. You know, you don't have to do an hour every day for 6 days a week. Just start small, little steps, tiny steps. So, and another thing is to meditate regularly. This helps stress at job. And meditate is just sitting, letting thoughts come through and not judging anything. That's the trick. It's not judging it.
Yeah, see, I sit, I don't let thoughts, but then I judge everything.
All the stuff comes through, you know, that moron at work, you know, what am I going to do next time I see him?
I'm curious, why is it that so many of us often do what's not good for us? Like I mentioned alcohol or smoking or some kind of vice or acting out in some way that's inappropriate. I mean, why is it that we so often seem to turn to these things that aren't good for us?
Well, they're easier and they're more well practiced than the other things. A lot of work cultures go out and get drunk at night, you know, after work. That's part of the culture. And we've tried to break that over the years, but it's still part of the culture. And not everybody goes out and meditates after work, you know. And a lot of people don't go out and exercise after work because they're too run down to do it.
Right.
So
these are some of the things. I saw on the list too, leaving a little bit earlier in the morning. It seems like that would help because you wouldn't be stressed getting to work.
Right. Trying to give yourself an extra 15 minutes in a day is huge. And carving out in the morning is usually the easiest thing because we say we're going to do it at night and then we're too tired.
Right.
So if you can get the big rocks out of the way in the morning, if you can exercise in the morning before you go to work, then no matter what happens, you're going to have a great big check mark in the plus column.
When you have worked with people with these techniques and you've seen them sort of adapt to them and really take them to heart and seen the changes, what has that been like to be able to see that?
Well, people feel empowered enough and good enough to make better decisions. And stress isn't about what happens to you. It's what you do with what happens to you that produces stress. So stress begins in the mind with a perception. You know, you have to, it's not an incident, it's that you perceive it as stressful. So one of the things that exercising and eating well and feeling better does is it makes you see things differently. And when you see it, you know, some people will say, well, that's no big deal, and you're like sweating bullets over it.
Yeah,
they see it differently. It's the same incident, but they perceive it differently. So one of the first things that we can't control what's out there, but we can control our response to it. And that's really important when you empower people with that. And I do have a little quickie acronym for people that are really trying to shift the mindset at work. And it's S means stop. Take a deep breath. Nobody breathes anymore. Breathe, guys. Breathe out there. Then the second H is harness your knee-jerk reactions, which is, oh, that moron, here we go again, you know, or he's coming to fire me, or, you know, you don't know. So if you can harness that. I is identify and manage the negative stuff that goes on inside of your head. F is find new options, find new ways to deal with the same situation. And often I don't have that perspective. So I think, well, what would Bob do? Or
Right.
what would Claire do? You know, what are some people that I admire? How do they do it?
We have to wrap it up. I'm
All right,
so
and the
sorry.
last one's take positive action.
Take
That's
Got
it.
positive action. That's a good note to end on. All right, thank you so
Stephanie,
much.
thanks.
We'll be right back.